I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful little sweet yarn pumpkins. I think they are adorable. As I mentioned, there's a few kind of specific motions that you're practicing here, and this is actually a precursor to finger knitting, which if you're following the curriculum, you'll do the following week. So this is a really great one. Again, I want to remind you that this is an activity that is intended to be a connecting activity between you and your child. So this is not an activity that you're just going to say, okay, children, make this pumpkin. This is something you're doing together, side by side. You're doing part, they're doing part. You're creating something together. So I'm going to show you how to do this little yarn pumpkin. So you have your nice thick yarn, you have your wool here, and you have a sock and your little stems here, all right? So this first part is a really fun part for your children to do because they could just get to stuff this sock with wool, right? So we're going to take this wool, and you can kind of do it in sections, and you can, if you want, kind of put this down, and then they can stuff their wool into the sock, and you can just stuff. So this part is especially helpful with a child because you can hold this open while they stuff. So on your own, you can kind of just shove it through and get it all the way down. Of course, I'm going to have fluff on my jewelry. So get it all the way down and kind of arrange it here. So this part is a part where little arms and hands will come in handy actually to stuff your pumpkin, all right? So you're gonna get it about like this, all right? So we wanna make sure we have our fluff enough to come into our little donut, all right? So kind of just arrange it like that, all right? Then we're going to kind of envelop it on top of itself. So this is another fun part that you can kind of have them shove. So see how I'm taking the sock and just putting it around itself. And then you're gonna continue to kind of just put this together so you create this donut, all right? So it takes a little finagling, but you're gonna create this little donut. This might work better with a little bit longer of a tube here. Okay, so we have our little donut here, right? Okay, I'm gonna try to secure this a little bit more. This is what you get for watching a live tutorial. All right, there we go. Okay, tube socks. This actually doesn't even have to be an orange tube sock if you cover it all the way. This is just like a sock. A calf length sock is great. This can really be any calf length sock. All right, so you have your little donut here, all right? So you have your little donut, and then now we're going to find our yarn. So this you're going to come through, and you're just going to secure your yarn right on here, with just a normal little knot, okay? Nothing fancy, just a double knot, okay? And then once you tie this in, we can snip this off, and then we're going to hide this just in the middle. So the middle of this, we're gonna be hiding all of our little seams or anything we do here, okay? So here is where we start our pattern, okay? We are going to take our yarn and pull it up to create this loop, all right? So you're just picking it up and creating a loop. Now this whole loop is going to dive into the hole of our pumpkin, okay? So take that loop and shove it in. Then on the bottom, you'll see our little loop. Pull that up, okay? We're gonna pull that up until you're right here at the top. Now this is the motion that begins to be a precursor for finger knitting, and this is the motion that our children can now join in. They're gonna have two little hungry fingers, and where they're gonna go through the pond to catch a fish. And they're going to pull up that fish, all right? And so now I have a new loop, just like I did before, all right? Then this is gonna dive down all the way down. Shove, shove, shove. Find it, pull it up, and ready for hungry fingers again? Hungry fingers through our pond to catch our fish. Okay, so we have our feeder yarn. You're bringing your fingers through this loop, yum, 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 to catch your little fish. and then pull that up. So we're kind of creating this notch that's going to be hidden right in here, and pull up your loop. All right, is that making sense? Then we're just going to repeat. So shove that down, dive it down, pull it up, and pinch and pull. So you see how that works? And then you're beginning to coat your sock with your kind of doubled yarn. All right? So not too tricky once you get the hang of it. I think the kids really enjoy this part. Grab your little fish, pull up your loop. All right? Then shove. And this is another great part. Can you find that little one? And then they can come and pull it up. Okay, so this is a great kind of passing off activity. Pull it around. Yoop. So not too crazy, but yes, makes much more sense seeing it. In pictures, it is just a tricky one, but really it is pretty simple. You have your loop, it comes down, pull it around, and munch on your feeder thread. So very similar to finger knitting, it's basically your finger knitting around the pumpkin. So I hope that helps, and I'm not gonna go sit here and do the whole thing. I'm gonna let you know how to finish this off. So once you're done, you can snip. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how I would finish this off. You would snip and then just pull this through to kind of create your knot, and so you have this little loop, and then I'm gonna have this go around again. And then you can kind of just tuck this through and just create a knot that you would just like hide. So just tie up a little knot that you would just hide in the middle of your pumpkin, just like that, and trim that off, and there you go, right? Now our stem, you have your 3 little pipe cleaners here. This is a great part for your children to start. We're just gonna twist these in opposite directions, okay? Twist, twist, twist. And then once these are twisted, you fold it in half, okay? And then you twist it again. So you're creating this twisty pumpkin stem. And if you want, you can curl it, make it fun. And then this part, you can kind of just wrap around itself at the bottom. And this just shoves right in. So I'll show you on this one, how you can kind of see how I did this. And it just shoves right in. And the little things of the pipe cleaner gonna just get caught on it just enough to kind of keep it in there from falling out, right? So if you want, you can hot glue it, but this just shoves in there and stays. So there is your little yarn pumpkin. I hope that helped. Again, it looks kind of tricky, but once you get it, it is not too tricky, and I think they're adorable. Again, if you want to replace this with just your simple kind of pumpkin style of your yarn apple, just the round and round, you can, but otherwise, that is your yarn pumpkin.